Well, good morning, guys. Today I am going to start really replacing the front suspension. I've got new control arms with new ball joints, control arm bushings, as well as inner and outer tie rods for both sides. I got new boots for the rack, so I'm gonna put those on as well. I also picked up a set of H&R race springs from a guy fairly local to me. They're used, I don't know if you can tell, but I got them for like 50 bucks. I'm just trying to get out to the track this year yet, and I don't want to spend the money on, garagistic bushings or condor bushings or anything at this point. So I'm kind of just trying to refresh everything right now. I picked up the tie rods, inners and outers, control arm bushings, as well as the control arms with new ball joints for under $100 altogether from Rock Auto. God, I love that website. I don't expect them to be, in the greatest shape or last the longest, but for a quick refresh job, just to get me out and to kind of, bring back the factory feel for a little while is going to be great. So I got a fender roller as well. I'm going to have to roll my fenders a little bit once I put these springs on. So yeah, I guess I'll get a close-up of these parts for you guys and get started on jacking the car up, taking the wheels out, and getting going on it all. So again, Ultra Power control arm bushings. Nothing too fancy here, but it is a new bushing. We'll have to press the old ones out of the lollipops and get those going. Here are the inner and outer tie rods. The outers are actually the greasable version, so it comes with a zert, which is pretty handy for a, kind of a cheap replacement part. Tie rod, or inner tie rod end. All the stuff seems to look to be pretty decent quality. I mean, it's CarQuest, so it's not bad. Control arms, pretty straightforward with those. There are the power steering rack bellows. Keep all the dust and dirt away from the inner tie rod ends. And then these are my used, obviously, springs that I picked up for, I don't know, about $50, I think, from a guy pretty local to me, just to toss in the car for this season yet. It's already July, so I'm not too worried about how long they'll last, as long as they get me through the end of the year. And if they don't, I won't even be that mad either. There'll be new ones going in, hopefully over this winter. And then there's a fender roller I am borrowing from a guy local to me as well. In the back already with these wheels on the driver's side, you can tell it's starting to eat into the tire a little bit, it's rubbing, so I'm sure when I put these springs on it'll be even worse, and we'll address that with the roller. So I am gonna get started jacking the car up, getting the wheels loose, taking the wheels off, and going from there.
You got this shit locked and loaded.
Well, as you can see, I got the struts out. Everything else is pretty much disconnected from the control arm. The sway bar link is the nuts off of the bottom of it. There's one more bolt I gotta get at, which is pretty difficult. Here, hold on, let me grab a flashlight. So, I hope you can see it, but that little bolt right down there next to the motor mount has got to come off. So I guess I'm gonna try and do that. Right now I am gonna show you guys how to swap over springs using a McPherson style spring compressor. They're not the safest things in the world to use. I wouldn't honestly recommend doing it this way. Take it to your local shop and they've got a cage and everything. These springs hold a lot of pressure that, I mean, can take off a hand or kill you if you're not careful. So I will show you guys how to do that just in case you're interested, but like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing it this way, but it's the way I've got to do it. So let's go. One thing I forgot to mention is you want to make sure that these strut compressors are perfectly in line with each other, 180 degrees across the spring. You always want to tighten one. I wouldn't go more than maybe a 1/4 inch of compression and then tighten the other one. You don't want to get unbalanced on these. That's when things start to get really unsafe and yeah, really dangerous. So for these, here, see if I can get a little bit of a better view. Okay, so for these style struts, you're gonna need some sort of socket like this. That way you can get your Allen wrench in there, just like that. So you can get your Allen wrench in there and keep the shaft in one direction while you turn the nut around the shaft. Only do this after you have the tension off of the top hat. Don't try to do this before you do that, otherwise this will blow up in your face quite literally. And I mean, look at this. You don't want this piece of metal flying at your face at, I don't know how fast it would go, but it'd go fast. So just be careful when you're doing stuff like this. Like I said, if you're not comfortable doing it, I definitely would not recommend it. Just take it to your local shop and they can swap out stuff for you pretty easily. It'll take them quite a bit less time than it's even taken me. So you can go that route if you'd like to, but I like to save money. And yeah, let's get back to it.